story of Yggdrasil in the land of Arcania. Children of men pass down an ancient fable. The power of the gods will be granted there. Disciples of magic study and archaic myth. The great mysteries shall be answered there. Descendants of warriors recite their folklore. The ultimate techniques can be mastered there. Nomads of the plains exchange a fairy tale. The lost treasures must be slumbering there. From all across the land of Arcania, each culture pursues its own legends. They journey to Yggdrasil, yearning to reach the top and meet their destinies.
How's that one for a little introduction? So, what is up, guys? It's Brownie, the Joy Charged Gamerz, charging you with joy with Etrian Odyssey V, Beyond the Myth. So, what are we going to contend with this one? Well, this video isn't going to go into the full part of what's going to go ahead with this, because we're going to do something a little different with this game. Normally, we'd be doing an LP, we'd be going straight into it, but this is a special introduction video to show you guys how Etrian Odyssey works. The reason I say that is we're planning to do something a little different with this game. We're going to be doing with this game a little something I like to call a LRP. You could sound it like a LARP, but a Let's Role Play. It's going to be a mixture of a Let's Play combined with a role play. So it may sound like a weird concoction, but it's good because we did this before on Dragon Quest IX, Sentience of the Starry Sky, on our live stream page a couple of months back, which involved me, my fiancée Delancey, my friends Shugo and Caitlin, and we had an absolute blast of a time. So, I'm going to show you guys how this works.
Let's do it to it!
Yeah, I'm sure we will, Janetta. Maybe later.
Have a nice day!
Okay, fine. So, if you're unfamiliar with Etrian Odyssey, allow me just to briefly go over what it is. Etrian Odyssey is a dungeon exploration role-playing game. Etrian Odyssey has been going on for quite a little bit here, and it started out with its very first one. I forgot what year it came out, but it got a revamp for this first game a couple of years later for the Nintendo 3DS, and it basically gave us something of a marvel. Because they re-released it with Millennium Girl, and they brought back the original story mode, as well as gave it its own unique story mode that still had some aspect of the original. This game series can be brutal to people who are unknown with what they are. I've been out of the loop for a while, but this is something to come back with, and I'm hoping you guys are going to be enjoyment here. So, the game is split up into 2 bits. First up, you have your major hub world here, City of Seven Hills. This is at the base of Yggdrasil, and this essentially is where you get your certain aspects. So, Janetta's Inn is your recovery point, your save point, as well as your revival for dead characters. The shop, lo and behold, where you buy and you sell all your items and your equipment and things like that. The bar is where you get your sub-quests in the game, so like your side missions like, get me this, defeat this, do that. Explorers Guild, this is where you create your characters. When you start off the game, you have an option of giving yourself a team name as well as creating 5 team members. Your team can consist of 30 members in total, but only 5 can enter the dungeon at one point. So it's essential that you get this right! You have the council, this is where your story missions are located, so come here and make sure you get them, and last but not least, the gate. Now I'd like to point out that we have got our characters made pretty a whole of time, but I'll show you when we get there as we do so. So, this game series as well, just before we carry on, is actually made by Atlus. For those who know who Atlus are, fantastic. If you don't, they are well known for creating the Shin Megami Tensei and the Persona series. So they definitely know what they're doing with role-playing games. They are about as experienced, I'd say, as Square Enix themselves, or Squaresoft, or whatever name you want to give them. I don't fucking know. But this is where the major part of the game comes in, and it's this dungeon exploration. You see this up here? You see this thing up here? This is our map. You have to create said map yourself. Allow me to show you. So Yggdrasil is our major dungeon of the area, and this is the first stratum, the first floor. Now, the dungeon works like a first-person sort of mystery dungeon-esque game. How it works is you have to use your D-pad to move, and as you can see, you take a step on the map if you look at the bottom screen. See that blue mark? So, how it also works is you have to draw your map with your stylus on the bottom screen. This is how you draw your usual things like that. So make sure you know what you're doing. When you're creating your map also, guys, just as a small heads up, make sure you pay attention to landmarks like, for example, here is a gathering spot for items. Make sure you come here. You can only come here once a day, but we'll do that because there. Across from us there, that's our chest locations there. So you may notice I've also mapped a couple of areas here. You can map ahead of time as long as you know what you're looking for. But also, the major thing that makes this game a lot more fun and tense is this thing right here. You'll see this thing here? This is our battle indicator. As you walk around the dungeon, the meter fills up as you take steps. When the bar is full, there is a chance when you take your next step that a battle will occur. Like that. Double roots, huh? Okay, we got a treads to deal with. Alright, okay, ropers, you got a deal. So, this is how the battle system works. The battle system works with you inputting your commands of all your characters at once, and then the battle plays out. You have your usual thing of attacking an enemy, you have your front row and back row mechanic if you're used to them. If not, I'll briefly go through it. Front row, more damage both on and off to you. The back row, less damage done to and from, etc. You get the idea. You also have your skill list. You learn these up by skill points in the game. When you level up, you gain experience. Skill points, sorry. So, excuse me. I still have my 5th time recording this. But yeah, you learn your skills by doing your things. You have your TP costs, your MP there. Defense, lo and behold. Items, lo and behold. Move, you can swap your position with another member on the team. You got Union, which is your special combination attack. I'll briefly go into that when we get to the actual roleplay, but what happens is you basically work with multiple members who have 100% to perform a different attack, and you have your run away! So, you're also going to meet our characters who are going to be involved with this. First off, you have Karisu, the Bushido. That's going to be me. I might change my class later because this Bushido is fragile as heck! You got Shugo, our fencer. He's our master beloved little worker here. He does a fantastic job in all around. Caitlin is our bloody hell, forgot the name. She's basically a Grim Reaper style less. You can see basically with a scythe. I've completely forgotten her name. Is there a way I could check her stats? No, I don't think there is a way I could check without starting. Harbinger, that's it, Harbinger, almost forgot there. You got Annie, who's our beloved forest person. There are tons more ranks and things in the game as well, just so you know, so you don't have to worry about them. And finally, we have our newest member to our team, who is Cake. Cake is Shugo's girlfriend. That's right, Shugo has a girlfriend. And essentially, she's our black mage. So once you've been put on commands, let battle commence. Come on. One down. Also, this is one of the first games. This is also the game that first introduced voice acting for all the main characters that you play as customizable characters. Normally before, there was like the main story, you created the character, well, the story gave you the characters and they had voice acting with them at parts, but this is the first time where they've actually given you a full-fledged official style to it, and I think it's a nice touch. Yeah! Yay! There we go!
Well, no surprise here.
Level up! So also, when you level up, you also gain yourself a skill point. When you create your characters, they get 1 skill point to start off with, but as they level up from there, they learn multiple skill points as you go. You choose an ability to give the skill point to, so if you give it to a 0 one here, they can learn the move, or you give it to a 1 here, like for example here, you can level it up and make it stronger. Level up the move, more stronger moves. You also have not just your style class, which for me is a Bushido, or Musaroya, which is a katana wielder, but you also have Etrian, which is basically your race. When you create your characters, you have to choose a race with beneficence, and then, based on your race, you can pick another class. It's a bit silly. I would have preferred it if it was varied all over the place, but what can you do? So you also have certain events that are happening in the game as well, like extra mechanics and things. Now, speaking of mechanics, I'm going to briefly just go over how we're going to be doing this. The battles are going to be cut out, except for the following 3 style of battles. Number 1, an appearance from a bad guy for the very first time. Second, a scene battle. In other words, it's like, for example, we walk through a dungeon and a cutscene comes up, sort of saying, suddenly you are attacked by random wolves. Oh look, these wolves are here. Kill them, but we've already fought these. Kill them, we'll show the battle. And the third one is, of course, the boss battles. Every single game of this has their boss battles and things, and oh boy, do they kick your ass if you're not ready. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut those bits as well, as because there's a little bit of silence and things like that. We're also going to be doing like a roleplay style where our characters are going to act like ourselves and try to basically make a bit of a show for you guys as well. So not only do you guys get introduced into Etrian Odyssey, but you also get to hear all of us have a random bit of fun, and just for the lulz of it, it's improvised. It is completely blind. Basically, what you see on the map there, that's all I've uncovered. I don't know anything else besides there, because I got my ass kicked! Fuck up there! You'll see when we get there. But besides that, the other thing as well is, I'm not sure if we're going to be doing this as a style of, say, we'll keep going until we get a game over, or we're going to go all the way. I haven't decided on that yet. We'll decide by the time our first episode goes up. When the first episode goes up, I wouldn't be able to tell you, unfortunately. Because unfortunately, you know, not a full-fledged YouTuber, so I can't focus the days to get by. But also, let me know if you guys in the comments would like us to do certain things different. For example, do you want us to, say, have different members? So instead of us 5, we could have a couple of other people sitting on standby as well to join when we're ready. Or do you want us to stick with the same 5? Do you want us to play with a certain style? Do you want us to basically go all the way? Do you want us to showcase more or less? Let us know in the comments what you guys would love to see in this, because we're doing this for you guys. So please understand that we're trying to enjoy all of this because we want to enjoy this as much as you guys do. So we're hoping you guys will enjoy the show, and we're going to try to do our best to get through this as much as we possibly can. But until then, guys, I hope you guys will sit comfortably, and I hope you guys will check out all the things there. Remember, if you have a suggestion, you can either A, leave it in the comments below, or you can suggest us it via our Twitter, or if you speak to us on Discord, you know where we are. But until then, guys, if you decided to enjoy with this little introduction episode, be sure to hit the subscribe button on our YouTube channel here, and be sure to check out the other videos on our channel if you're bored out of your wick. But until then, guys, we'll see you guys for the first episode here when we get through to it, and hopefully you guys are going to enjoy the show, because I know for a fact I'm looking forward to this, and I'm hoping you guys are too. So are the others all waiting in the wings. But until then, guys, this is Brownie the Joy Charge Gamerz, signing off on Let's Introduce Etrian Odyssey V Beyond the Myth. Stay charged and catch you all later! Goodbye! I'm trying to stay more in shot. Also, I love this music.